Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture on dual converters. In this lecture, we will take an overview of single phase control rectifiers. We will see different types of single phase control rectifiers and their significances, and later on we will understand why dual converters are needed in industrial applications, and we will understand working of two types of dual converter. One is circulating type and another is non-circulating type dual converter. So let us start with actual contents. Now, control rectifiers are converting AC voltage into variable DC voltage. Now, variable DC voltage is used for DC motor drives for various industrial applications, traction applications, cranes and other industrial applications. So these rectifiers are also called as converters or AC to DC converters, where by varying firing angle we can change the output voltage. Control rectifiers are classified into two main categories: single phase control rectifiers and three phase control rectifiers, depending on the supply. In single phase control rectifier, we apply single phase AC supply and it produces DC output. In three phase control rectifier, we apply three phase AC supply that produces DC output. Now each of these two types of rectifiers has further three subtypes. First one is semi converter, second one is full converter, and third one is dual converter. Now, the majority applications of control rectifiers are in drive application, where you want to drive your machine in different quadrant of operation. So sometimes we will come across only driving motor in forward direction. So that operation is called as one quadrant. Sometimes we want motor to be drawn in forward direction as well as we want to recover some power. So motor will generate some back EMF and that power can be sent back to the supply side. For that we need two quadrant operation. And there is one more operation. In some situation we will come across driving that motor in forward direction as well as in reverse direction, plus we expect forward regeneration capability and reverse regeneration capabilities. So to do this we have to use dual converter. Now when we compare single phase control rectifiers with three phase control rectifiers, application wise they are same. Only the thing is the ripple frequency of single phase rectifier is low. It is 2 times of Fs, where Fs is the input side supply frequency, and the ripple frequency of three phase rectifiers is 3 times of Fs or 6 times of Fs, depending on type of configuration one is using. If the ripple frequency is higher, the DC output will have low ripples in the output and they can be easily filtered out. That's why three phase converters are used for industrial applications, where you need to avoid the cost of connecting filters, and they are also used for high power applications. But there are applications which varies from low power to high power. Now depending on those requirement, user can go with single phase rectifiers or three phase control rectifiers. Now we will focus only on single phase rectifiers so far. Now let us take an overview of different types of single phase control rectifiers. First, most commonly used rectifier is single phase semi converter. It consists of two diode and two SCRs, and it feeds the power to the motor. This type of converter can operate for 20 HP traction applications, 20 to 100 HP traction applications, and its output ripple frequency is 2 times of Fs. One point is, using this converter we will get positive voltage and positive current on the output side. If we get only positive voltage and positive current, power can be sourced from source to the load. in this converter there is no possibility of changing the power. So in order to operate our converter for braking operation, the converter must have capability of changing the polarity of voltage or changing the polarity of current, so that power will be made negative. This is possible only when power is made negative, but in control rectifier, current at any time cannot be made negative irrespective of firing angle and irrespective of type of load. So in semi converter we cannot change the direction of current, and second point is we also cannot change the polarity of voltage for any firing angle. That means this converter will operate in first quadrant where power will only flow from source to load, and this operation is called as forward motoring mode. So this converter has drawback of using regeneration or braking options in train. So these converters are used for simple applications where regeneration capabilities are not expected. Second type of control rectifier is single phase full converter. Here it consists of 4 SCRs. This full converter can operate in first quadrant and fourth quadrant. In this converter, if alpha is less than 90 degree, this converter will operate in rectifying mode, means power will flow from source to the load. If firing angle is increased above 90 degree, that is when alpha is more than 90 degree, this converter operates in inversion mode where power starts flowing from load to the source. When alpha is more than 90 degree, the average output voltage of this converter is 2 Vm by pi into cos of alpha becomes negative. That's why we say that output power becomes negative and current power starts flowing from load to the source side. So this converter has capability of providing power to the machine as well as taking power from the machine to the source side. So these kind of features are actually demanded by industry. So for forward motoring applications along with regeneration, these full converters are preferred over semi converter. Now third type of control rectifier is dual converter. This dual converter consists of two full converters which are connected in anti-parallel. Here you can see first converter is called as positive converter or P converter, and second converter is called as N converter or negative converter. A load is connected between these two. So this is a motor here. If we want to drive our motor in forward direction, we will operate converter 1, and if you want to drive our motor in reverse direction, we will operate converter 2. So in this converter we can get 4 quadrant operation. Each converter will provide you 2 quadrant. That means if converter 1 will give you first and fourth quadrant, and converter 2 will offer you second and third quadrant. So this is how you can drive your motor in forward direction as well as in reverse direction along with forward braking capability and reverse braking capability. The ripple frequency of all these converters is 2 times of Fs. In similar way, you can understand applications of 3-phase control rectifiers. So there is 3-phase semi converter, 3-phase full converter, and 3-phase dual converters. They are similar to single phase semi converter, single phase full converter, and 3-phase dual converter, except high power applications and low ripples in the output. Now in this lecture we will focus only on single phase dual converter. So far we have seen that if we connect two full converters in anti-parallel, we can get 4 quadrant operation. Now let us understand what four quadrant operation is. If you observe in last section of this single phase dual converter, first quadrant means voltage and current, output voltage and output current are positive. This is called as forward motoring mode. In second quadrant, output voltage is positive but current is negative. This is called as forward regeneration. In third quadrant, both output voltage and output current are negative but power is positive. This is called as reverse motoring. And in fourth quadrant, average output voltage is negative and current is positive. This is called as reverse braking. So to get this four quadrant operation, we have to use either single phase dual converter or three phase dual converter. This converter consists of two full converters which are connected in anti-parallel and a load is connected between them. And majority applications are in drive where you want multi-quadrant operation, forward motoring, reverse motoring, along with regeneration capability in forward direction and reverse direction. Now these dual converters are classified into two types. First type is circulating type and non-circulating type. These are applicable to three phase dual converters also. So in total we can have four combinations: single phase circulating dual converter, three phase circulating dual converter, next single phase non-circulating dual converter, and three phase non-circulating dual converter. We will learn all of this step by step. Let us understand single phase non-circulating type of dual converter. Here you can see that there are two full converters connected. So first converter is called as converter 1, second converter is called as converter 2. Both of these are fed by single phase AC supply. A load is motor which is connected between them. So in non-circulating type of dual converter, only one converters operate at a time. So here, if you want to drive a load in forward direction, we have to turn on converter 1. So converter 1 will be turned on by applying the gate pulses to the thyristors which are present in converter 1. To vary the voltage, we must change the firing angle of switches of converter 1. So by varying firing angle from 0 to 90 degree, one can change the voltage from maximum to minimum. In similar way, if we want to drive the motor in reverse direction, in that case converter 1 is stopped. So to stop the converter 1, we have to remove the gate pulse of converter 1 and gate pulses to the converter 2 are on. So converter 2 will produce negative output voltage, and its negative output voltage will drive this motor in reverse direction. By changing firing angle, one can change the voltage, and by changing the voltage you can see the change in speed of the drive. So this is how you drive this motor in forward as well as in reverse direction. So here you can note down few points. At a time only one converter is on. When the reversal of output voltage is required, firing pulses of conducting converters are removed and firing pulses are applied to the non-conducting converter. Now there is one more issue. All the devices are not going to turn off with gate signals. They take certain time. So we should allow some time so that converter 1 switches are fully turned off, and after that converter 2 should be turned on. So this concept is called as dead band. So we have to provide a dead band between the gate pulses of converter 1 and converter 2 whenever you are trying to change the direction of motor. The drawback of this topology is the response of this drive is sluggish. Means when we are driving motor in forward direction, it runs for let's say 1 hour, and when we want to drive that motor in reverse direction, we have to reduce the speed and we should allow second converter to turn on. So that's why for some time you will have small voltage or small torque available, so drive will not be able to catch the reverse speed immediately. So that's why this is a drawback of this non-circulating type dual converter. Advantage of this is a very simple topology. Control circuit card is designed in very simple way, and as only one converter is operating, there is no issue of circulating current. But considering this issue also, these converters are not actually preferred for industrial applications. Now we will see operation of circulating type dual converter. Here both the converters will be turned on simultaneously. If two of these converters, means two full converters, are connected in anti-parallel, we can get 4-quadrant operation. Now let us understand how this circuit operates. So here you can see we have two full converters connected in anti-parallel, converter 1, converter 2. Converter 1 will drive motor in forward direction, converter 2 will drive motor in reverse direction. By changing the firing angles of converter 1 and converter 2, you can control the speed of motor in forward direction as well as in reverse direction. Now here the logic of control circuit is set such that if converter 1 has firing angle of alpha 1, then the firing angle of converter 2 will be set as pi minus alpha 1 automatically. For example, if we take firing angle of converter 1 as 30 degree, then firing angle of converter 2 will be set automatically as 180 minus 30, that is 150 degree. So firing angle of converter 1 is 30 degree now, and firing angle of converter 2 is 150 degree. Here we can note that one thing, as for any full converter, if firing angle is less than 90, it operates in rectifying mode, where power flows from source to the load. By considering this fact, converter 1 will be carrying power from source to the load. It is acting in a rectifying mode, whereas converter 2 operates in inversion mode because firing angle of converter 2 is more than 90 degree, that is 150 degree in this case. So converter 1 will, when converter 1 is in rectifying mode, converter 2 is in inversion mode, and when converter 2 is in rectifying mode, converter 1 goes in inversion mode. So in total we get 4-quadrant operation. First converter provides you first and fourth quadrant operation, and second converter provides you second and third quadrant operation. That's why it is called as multi-quadrant operation. In order to understand waveform, we have to draw supply voltage. Both converters are fed by same supply voltage. Now first we will draw the output voltage of converter 1. So for converter 1, firing angle is alpha 1, let's say it is 30 degree. So devices of converter 1, that is T1, T2, will start conducting from alpha to pi. They will conduct beyond pi also due to inductive load till pi plus alpha 1. After that T3 and T4 will start conducting. If alpha is less than 90 degree, average output voltage is positive and our converter 1 will operate in first quadrant. In that case, firing angle of converter 2 is 150 degree. So if we draw the waveform of converter 2, one will see that average output voltage is negative. So that waveform has been drawn here. So for understanding this waveform in detail, we will take a video, separate video. So converter to waveform you can draw, assuming that it is connected in anti-parallel for alpha equals to 90 degree. As its output voltage is made negative, you have to flip that voltage. So that voltage is drawn. So you can see first voltage is VO1 and second voltage is VO2. And the actual voltage which is available to the load will be addition of this VO1 plus addition plus VO2. And now when we get these two voltages, the circulating voltage, a little bit different voltage, so that voltage is drawn here. So it will be drawn by getting the difference of these two. Now one thing you can note here, that at any given instance, if you observe waveform of converter 1 and converter 2, when converter 1 voltage is at high peak, converter 2 voltage is at low peak. So there is an instantaneous voltage difference at various points. Now because of these two differences in voltages in VO1 and VO2, power will start flowing either from VO1 towards VO2 or from VO2 side towards VO1. That means power can flow whenever there is a voltage difference from converter 1 and converter 2. Here, because of this issue, a current will start flowing from converter 1 to converter 2 or converter 2 to converter 1, and this current is called as circulating current. Now if this circulating current is very high current, if that current flows on the converter side, it may get injected into the devices, and if this current is beyond the rating of thyristors, it may damage the devices. So our role is, we should not allow this current to flow suddenly, instantly. So in order to reduce that current flow, we must place an inductor in series. So circulating reactors are actually placed where the circulating currents are flowing. So these devices will be protecting your thyristor. Now let us take a mathematical analysis into the consideration. If alpha is firing angle of converter 1 and alpha 2 is firing angle of converter 2, the average output voltage of converter 1 is given by VDC is equals to 2 Vm by pi into cos of alpha 1, and average output voltage of converter 2 is given by VDC is equals to 2 Vm by pi into cos of alpha 2. At any given instance, the average voltages are equal in amplitude, but they are different in sign. Therefore, we can write one statement as VDC1 is equals to minus VDC2. If we compare these two equations, we will get equation as cos of alpha 2 will be minus cos of alpha 1, which is equivalent to cos of pi minus alpha 1. And that's why we get one equation, alpha 2 is equals to pi minus alpha 1, or alpha 1 is pi minus alpha 2. If firing angle of converter 1 is set as 30 degree, firing angle of converter 2 will become 150. And if firing angle of converter 2 is 150, firing angle of converter 1 will be 30 degree. So when converter 1 is in rectifying mode, other is in inverting mode. So circulating currents are limited using a circulating reactor in the power. In next lecture, we will understand operation of three-phase dual converter, along with analysis of single phase semi converter, which is remaining in this lecture. Thank you.